humans for whom the words "never again" carry special meaning.
So where are we going?
Further than we've ever gone before.
Report. Structural latching system integrity breached.
Prepare to take us out of here, number one.
Fire up the engines, half impulse till we clear the nebula, then punch it up to warp 9.
Ready phasers, load forward torpedo bays. Engage.
Homo sapiens. What an inventive, invincible species. It's only a few million years since they crawled up out of the mud and learned to walk. Puny, defenseless bipeds. They've survived flood, famine, and plague. They've survived cosmic wars and holocausts. Now, here they are, out among the stars, waiting to begin a new life, ready to outsit eternity. They're indomitable.
I'll give you moves.
Everybody lives, Rose. Just this once! Everybody lives!
Yes, indeed, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, indeed. I haven't actually seen that clip for ages, right? That's a really definitive moment of the Ninth Doctor, I think. I think that's where he became the Doctor, right? He kind of loosened up after that a little bit. His PTSD calmed down, right? He had a better idea of what he was doing. Oh, man. I wish Big Finish had a better idea what they're doing with the Ninth Doctor. It's really heartbreaking to be out of that range, right? Because it was very good for the first few of them anyway. I would say the first season generally was worthwhile. Other than that, and then it went way downhill really quickly. It was a real shame. See, the problem with it is the stories are all too throwaway. Like the first one they did by Nick Briggs was a solid story, right? Like a solid 3-dimensional story, right? Over 3 episodes, it had some weight to it, and it was really good, right? And it was like, oh right, I'm in the Ninth Doctor. I feel I'm in the zone. And then they had a few very good Cyberman episodes, like really excellent ones, I would say. And a couple of your average NAF episodes, right? So, oh man, I forgot we had the flashing light. What is that flashing light? It must be because it's an LED light. It must mean it's about to go, right? I really got to replace it. Oh no, it's not flashing though. That's weird. If I go forward, does it flash? I don't know. Anyway, yeah. So I mean, and then they are programming for the same people that TV show is programming for. Listen, I think Big Finish has a great opportunity. I think Big Finish have a great opportunity right now. Maybe, might be their only role play. I don't know, but to go do really traditional Doctor Who. That's how they started, right? And it's really, it was traditional, but it was still pushing it forward. This was just like non-diverse, shall we say? Stories about stories rather than stories about issues, right? Just like, what was that last Sontaran versus Rutan one? It was just a story. I liked it. Oh God, it wasn't trying to rub it in my bloody face. I just kind of liked it. It was nice, right? It was just a story for once. Oh, more like that. I don't know, but I think the damage is done. Honestly, I think minimally the new era is going to last for 2 seasons. They're in the middle of filming it. They're not stopping filming. But man, everything's dropping like flies at Disney. I mean, the Ray movie's done. That was crazy. How that just forget it. Well, indefinite hold. I forgot Stephen Knight was working. I like Stephen Knight. I think he's very talented. I know. So maybe it'll end up being rested for a few years. It could be. It's a valuable property, but all these properties were valuable and they've been beaten to death, right? I think the first person who has an idea to rest a property for a couple of years is going to be the first one who's going to be able to make it profitable again, right? So I had this idea the other day of what to do for a Doctor Who story. Let's say Doctor Who's been off the air for a year or two, right? And they want to bring it back. This is a very John Nathan Turner, right? But this would really totally work. Have like 5 or 6 characters, and they all wake up, and they're all very doctorable actors. They're very actors that could very easily be cast as the Doctor. Like, you know, or some of them be like Hugh Grant, right? They could be like dream casting of the Doctor as well. But you have 5 actors, right? And you don't know who the new Doctor is, right? And you only find out at the end of the episode. So the story could be like the Doctor's had to imprint his personality on the crew of the spaceship or a space station or something, so they can all perform this. You know, they can all work separately to perform one goal that's very important. Whatever. You know, what MacGuffin, and basically, and it only lasts for about an hour. So you only really find out at the end who the Doctor actually is. I think that'd be so much fun, right? I think that would really go down well as well. I think that'd be, and again, you just keep it secret, like who is the Doctor, especially if you're going for like an unknown, right? I did think, that would be a really fun way of doing it. Speaking of fun, yes, my son got engaged yesterday. Very sweet. Here, let me go. I'll get the pictures and the videos. They're all cute. Where is it? Hang on. So it's very cute. You actually here. Let me. I'll download the video of what I'm actually proposing, because it's really weird, right? It's not that spontaneous. Apparently, how do I? Do I have to? I've got to let the whole thing play, I think, before it'll let me download it. Long. Oh, it's so cute though. Oh, I can't watch this twice. Fine. I just got Fine. I just got to let it play. My son got engaged last night to his longtime girlfriend, his first girlfriend. All right, and I just think it's such a good way to live, right? I think it's going to have so much happier life for it. Say my older son who just got married. All right, it's like he met this girl about 4 months before they got married. Oh no, about 6 months before they got married. Then spent a couple of months planning it, and then the plans got ripped apart. Because the war started, right? So and then they got married in an army base, right? Oh man, I'm waiting for this clip to finish playing so I can download it already. Oh, come on, will it let me have it yet? No, it's saying open. I don't want open page source. What's up with you, mate? I don't want to click away from it because I don't want it to stop it playing because I want to be able to down. Oh, maybe I can send it from my phone. Wait a minute. Problem solving in real time, right? Problem solving in real time. Yeah, it's so funny. His friend recorded all this. He did a very good job. Watching it right now. I'm giving it a critique. Wait a minute. Can I send this from my phone? I can send it from my phone. That's the way to go. My phone, my old phone, which is now way better than. No, it's not there. Bollocks. Which is now like way better than. Oh, is this done yet? Than my newer phone. I don't understand it at all, right? I literally don't understand it at all. If I do this, if I press. Okay, I'm pressing more. Oh, save. No, I don't want to delete it. No. I want to go save. Okay. Oh, is it done? I was finished playing there. Okay, wait. So I should be able to download it now. Where is it? A download, yes! Holy crap! That was agony. That was redonkulous. What pain in the ass that was. Holy finally. Okay, here we go. We'll start over there. Here we go. Share screen. That's a Chrome tab. WhatsApp. Oh, I don't know what's up. There they go. That's just after they got engaged. A happy couple. She's very happy. She was very happy with her ring, right? That was very important. So yeah, so you had it all like set up to They all said that he was going to do a barbecue, so he had it all set up there, and they can have a bottle of wine. It's very cute. I'll play the video. It's so cute. And then, so yeah, I mean, they're talking about getting married in the summer. Honestly, I guess it all has to do with what's doing with the war. I guess. Wait, did that not download? What the hell? What the hell? It said download and it didn't. I went to a lot of trouble to download that, for God's sake. Okay, what's it? Download. It's got to download. No, it's an image. I don't want the image. How do I get the bloody video? Oh, no. Okay, now I'm just irritated. Right? Now I really am just irritated. There's got to be a way. There. And then we go to message. No, it doesn't work. Yeah, I've done this before, which is a really annoying thing. Forward star. No, I don't want to delete it. No, I don't want to forward it to me. Okay, well, say, let me try on my phone. Maybe I did it on my phone. Really? I mean, I'm so pissed off. Oh, sitting here boomering it. Okay, we go. So, one second. We go. I think I might have found it. I think I might have found a way of doing this. Save. Videos. Okay. No, we don't want to save video. So it's in the. Okay. It's in the camera roll. Oh, there it is. Look at that. Look at that. Share. And we're not talking about, the show tunes, baby. Sharing. Preparing. Waiting. Oh. Everything is. Oh, there you go. Blimey. It just shared. I was going to say, everything is miserable. Here we go. Oh, and the WhatsApp video now downloaded. Okay, I don't understand. I don't understand any of this. So that's near where we live, right? Oh, and look, she twigged. She's a smart girl. She knew what was fly. She'd been waiting on the street. It's so funny because his Fred, our next door neighbor, who I never like he was the one who was like the Cyrano de Bergerac with this, who told him what to do. So he was going to do it on our roof, right? He's like, no, you want to go here. They say, look, he got it all set up for him. It's got the sunset. It says in balloons there, "Marry me" in Hebrew. And he said, like, basically, I'm spending all my time in a tank. He's back in the tank right now, right? Spending all my time in a tank thinking about her. It seems like I want to get married. Oh, got his knee. I love it. He also he paid for that rig himself. I'm very impressed. That's a very Jewy compliment. But yeah, he did. I mean, having said that, the local jeweler's a friend. He gave us a really, really nice deal for it. Yeah, she's kind of short. He's very tall. And she loved the ring. Thank God she loved the ring. Post it on Facebook. That's always a good sign. And also she posted this lengthy clip of friends on Facebook saying, "I'm engaged!" When it had Monica screaming she was engaged. Yeah, so we had that engagement part of it, and she was beaming throughout. Oh, they love each other so much. It's really ridiculous how cute it is. Look, and the kid who's recording it is Fred from next door. Like a few years ago, he was like the blonde kid from Bad Santa, right? So I'm not exaggerating. I tell you, it's a man's world, baby. It's a man's world. There's so many more boys than there are girls. When girls get a boy, they like hook onto them. Like this, yes. And also, look, like he's in combat. She wants to feel he's like significant, and she is. Yeah, so when I had to leave, in a hurry last night, that was to go to the L'chaim, right? L'chaim, which is like a L'chaim is when you have little shots of alcohol. Well, my wife, of course, put out so much freaking food. It was incredible, right? Incredible. But yeah, we had a full house. And then, like me and my daughter, we cleaned up. It was great, just completely done, which I was quite happy about. So there you go. Yeah, we got another one engaged. How long is it going to be? Maybe they're talking about summer, but we'll have to see. With the war, we'll have to see. So that was the first thing going on. The second thing going on, right? Is what's his name? Keep thinking Philip Hinchcliffe, but it isn't Philip Hinchcliffe. Philip. What's the guy's name? Hang on. Philip Morris, right? Philip Morris. So Philip Morris, I've had a bit of a back and forth. Some would say spat, right, with him on Twitwat, on the old Twitter. So I'm going to cut this out and send it and put it on Twitter as basically answering the whole thing. Listen. Firstly, I understand, right? I understand that I could be a bit pushy. I could be a bit Jewy, right? I absolutely understand. And I understand that's often off-putting. Like, I understand why people find Ben Shapiro a pain in the ass, right? I do too. I get that, right? I absolutely get that. But like honestly, I don't know if you're anti-Semitic or not. All right, I really don't know. It seems to be you are, right? Philip Morris, a famous lost episode finder and I guess lost TV, but it seems to be you are based on what you're doing. And what you're doing is reposting all this like vicious, nasty, libelous attacks on Israel and that's the only side you listen to is Hamas, and you honestly, as we went through it, you didn't even know about the basic facts, right? I was actually kind of surprised how little that you knew, and this isn't an insult, right? I want to try and explain this to you as clearly as possible, and again, I'm not trying to be insulting, right? I'm trying to give you an understanding. Now, if you're even vaguely open-minded, you're not going to be you will listen to what I'm saying, and that means you're not anti-Semitic. And I want to be very clear: legitimate criticism of Israel is never anti-Semitism. Illegitimate criticism of Israel is always anti-Semitism, right? I always thought it was funny when Jeremy Corbyn was legitimately criticized for Now that was a pain in the ass, right? I just got warmed up. I was all ready to go, and no, that was annoying. That was really annoying. And now I lost the first 20 minutes of the chat as well. Oh, I am miffed, ladies and gentlemen. I am miffed. What can I tell you? Anyway, I was pretty much at the beginning of the segment, so thankfully we can start again. I've had go and look at my my twit at Lebetkin, and I've had a back and forth with a rather, I would say, sometimes heated back and forth with Philip Morris, famous lost episode hunter and finder. Right, I really say you got Philip Morris. I think he discovered was it 9 episodes? It was all of Enemy of the World, which is a weird story. It's a Enemy of the World is a weird trans. Yeah, right. Web of Fear is freaking awesome. It's really one of the all-time best Doctor Who stories. It's so good. If you haven't seen it, I so recommend it. Like, I recommend it very, very, very highly. They have a absolutely god-awful animation to cover the missing episode, and it really is awful. Callum Weston did try something similar with the Celestial Toymaker and was far more successful. But yeah, what can you do? What can you do? But anyway, yeah, Web of Fear, strong recommend. Really awesome story. Anyway, I digress. So, Philip's got some very strange ideas about Israel, right? Ideas that are just divorced from reality completely, and he very strongly is convicted he has a strong conviction to maintain these ideas, to the extent that if you present them and if you present anything counter, he gets very upset and doesn't acknowledge it's happened. It's strange, right? It's strange. It seems okay. So it seems like he has a internal hatred of Jews, right? He seems like he's anti-Semitic, right? That's what it says. Am I accusing it? No, I can't open up his heart and see, does he hate Jews or not? Is he doing something traditionally anti-Semitic right now? In my opinion, yeah. I mean, in my opinion, because I think it matches the dictionary definition, right? So, no, it used to be like, the archetype of anti-Semitism was saying those Jews, they use Christian baby blood for their religious practice, right? And they really, and sometimes they'll produce the body of a baby, whatever. They would convince people. It didn't really take much, and they were all convinced. And then now it's okay to chase them out of town and burn their houses down and beat them and murder them, right? Because they were the evil Jews, right? So it's very similar right now. Israel being accused of genocide, right, and ethnic cleansing, which it's no, it's not. No. But we have to really dive down into it to see where the roots of it are really coming from, right? So I'm going to clip out this video, and I'm going to reply it to Philip. I'm going to go all the points. But again, firstly, look, if anything's got heated unnecessarily, I do apologize. Well, that's really bizarre. I just had 10 viewers vanish. That was really weird. That was really strange. It was going up again now. That was really bizarre. Anyway, I digress. Look, if things became overly heated unnecessarily, I can be a bit a pushy Jew. I agree, and I apologize if that happened. I understand. I still say that Jews can be irritating often, right? I understand Ben Shapiro gets up my nose just as much as pretty much everybody else's. I would imagine, right? So again, I apologize if things got more heated than was necessary. But the view of Israel you're presenting is ludicrous, right? It's ludicrous. It's a two-dimensional cartoon villain, and it's not real. It's painted to so you believe all the libels that you're putting on your Twitter bio, right? Your Twitter page, right? So you have this idea that an evil white European invasion of Jews, or white European imperialists, right, came in and pushed out the poor, peaceful indigenous people. And then they harassed them, and they kept them under occupation, and they brutalized them, and they committed genocide. And I'm back, and it's ridiculous, right? It's just ridiculously untrue. If you, firstly, the idea that Israel is like full of white Jews, you're out your bloody mind. It's that we have Jews of all colors, we have peoples of all colors in Israel, right? We have a large black community. It's the strangest thing, right? The vast majority of the country is Middle Eastern and are indigenous to the region. About 30% Ashkenazim who aren't, right? Who lived here about 2,000 years ago and were exiled by the Romans, right? And we have a very detailed recorded history of our meanderings, throughout the world. But essentially, Israel is the vast majority is called Sephardi Jews, right? The white pale Jews, that's Ashkenazi, right? And they're the minority. I mean, it comes up with many Jewish legal weird things that you would, religious weird things that would surprise you, right? But essentially, the everything is in the Palestinian peoplehood is predicated on the Nakba, right? The terrible time when the evil Jews came in and they invaded Israel, they invaded Palestine, they took it for themselves, right? And you also believe that still to this day they just grab land whenever they want with those illegal settlements. I want that land, I'm just going to take it. Oh no, soldiers are going to shoot you in the face or beat you up for that, and you can't do anything about it. That's what you believe, and it's ridiculous. And again, this is where I live. It's ridiculous. And divorced from reality in any way, shape, and form. Firstly, you walk down any street in Israel, you go into a hospital, you go into any business, you go into a mall, you go into a hotel, you'll see Arabs and Jews living and working together. There is no division between us. For goodness sake. And you believe wholeheartedly that there is, but there isn't. Right? We're a very blended society with everybody having exactly the same rights. Right? These are the things that you said, no, doesn't happen. It's insane. I mean, these are all verifiable facts, right? You said, no, Israel has never, ever supported a two-state solution. Are you out your mind? Again, simple Googling. In 1948, we accepted a two-state solution, right? It was, what year was the Barak deal? 1 second. Barak, Israel, peace deal. I mean, have you ever heard like Bill Clinton talk about this? He said he tried everything to bring the Palestinians to give a Palestinians a state, right? But they refused, right? 2000 Camp David, right? They just kept refusing, and they were offered. I mean, look, Clinton must have offered huge things to Israel, because what they were offering was insane. It was like 97.4% of the territory they demanded, that's pretty good in a negotiation, right? Normally it's 50-50, all right? Here's the other thing. What you call occupied territories, if it was not dealing with Jews, it would be called disputed territories. Right? The West Bank. The West Bank belonged to Jordan, and Jordan doesn't want it. They lost it in the 6-Day War, and they don't want it. They don't want it because it's too much of a pain in the bloody arse. So there is no Palestine that the evil white Jews came in and took over. It wasn't there. And again, I would say just have basic knowledge of the facts, right? In 1948, the UN had a partition plan, And the Arabs said no, and the Jews said yes, and then they went to war. Now, that's what the Arabs called the Nakba, right? When the evil devil men Jew came in, they raped and they murdered. It was October the 7th, 100 times over. That's not the way we remember it, right? We were completely outgunned. We should have been wiped out. We were expecting to be wiped out, not for the first bloody time. Well, we were expecting to be wiped out. There's no way we should have survived, and we survived through miracle. And it really was miracle. Like they'll say, where I used to get my shirts laundered in Jerusalem was called Davidka Square. After the Davidka gun used in the 1948 War of Independence, which, again, the UN declared us a country, and then all the Arabs came and attacked us. And again, these are just verifiable facts. Right, the Arabs told the Arab armies told the Arabs to get out of the way, and we're going to get rid of all the Jews for you, right? And again, we were completely outnumbered, outgunned, right? We had no tactical advantage whatsoever, but we survived. Oh yeah, I was saying the Davidka gun. The Davidka gun didn't actually fire anything; it just made a lot of noise, right? And because it made so much noise. And then right afterwards, it started to rain. There was a rumor that when you had a nuclear bomb goes off, it rains straight away. And so it was the Jordanian army ran, right? And that's why we captured so much of Jerusalem. It was a war, right? A defensive war, right? You say things like in flagrant violation of international law. Excuse me, no, that's your interpretation of international law. And frankly, if you think the South African, again, anti-Semitic, and it is anti-Semitic accusation of genocide has any weight to it whatsoever, you're either a blithering ignoramus, a Jew hater, insane, or all the above. Are you out your mind? You have this idea that we're carpet bombing Gaza. We want to kill and hurt as many Palestinians. We're not doing very good at it, though, right? We're not doing very good at it. By Hamas numbers, it's about 30,000 people dead, right? So I would say, to be charitable, at least cut it in half. I would probably cut it into 3. I mean, do you not remember the 500 babies killed by the evil Israelis? Only it didn't happen. Right at the beginning of the war, the Islamic Jihad misfired a missile. It went off in a hospital parking lot. Have you noticed how many hospitals there are in the tiny Gaza, by the way? You know why that is? Because Hamas builds hospitals to keep their munitions in. I mean, like, okay, you're like, oh, you've just been, I can imagine you saying, oh, you've just been indoctrinated by propaganda. No, I live here, you dumb fuck! See it with my own fucking eyes, you fucking moron! Right, so, really, I do. I want to tell you. It's like somebody talking about what it looks like on your street, and you're like, no, it doesn't. Yes, it does, bigot. No, it doesn't. All right? There's not carpet bomb going on. Before any munition is fired, right? This is how freaking crazy it is, right? Before any munition is fired, it's got to go through a team of fucking lawyers. And everybody's marked down about every decision because you know what cunts you are. And how you use the law to try and frame Jews as being evil, bloodthirsty Jews, right? So yeah, in 1948 they had the War of Independence, the Nakba, and I think it's much easier to say, rather than they lost to a vastly inferior force, which they did, right? They did lose to a vastly inferior force, and the Arabs were terrified to come back because they thought the Jews would treat them like the Arabs would. And if the Jews treated them like the Arabs did, they would massacre them. That's normal in this region. We're not like that. And we never have been. And here's the thing. You've never been able to find evidence of us being like that. Right? So, like, you post up all this shit on your Twitter all the time. Right? Oh, how the Jews do war crimes. Again, how is it a genocide? When literally... We tell people where we're going to fire. Get out the way, civilian. There's no other army does it. So they say what, 30,000's dead. I say cut that in half, probably, right? I think probably cut it into. I'll say cut it into thirds. That'd be a bit too much. But even if you don't, right? 9,000 of those have been confirmed. Was it Hamas kills, right? So I think it's that would make it 1 in 3. Was it? No, 2 out of 3 are civilians. That sounds terrible, unless you realise that the British and American and the French and the South African and every other military operational acceptable operational losses is 3 civilians dead for every enemy combatant. Right, so it's even taking the Hamas bullshit numbers. It's probably 2 to 1. Right, again, far better, which is grisly. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's terrible. There should be nobody being killed. There should be no need for anybody. There should be no need for Hamas to use dead children as a weapon against us, right? And they do, and they then they don't have enough dead children. They just fabricate it. I'll give you example after example after example of people crying with dolls, right? And then when the camera shuts off, they stop. I mean, like, it's called Pallywood. It's not a new thing, right? But anyway. So your timeline is just full of like this libels about the IDF. Now, I want to be very clear. I want to explain to you why that's so intensely offensive. And it is. It's intensely offensive, right? Because both my boys are very proud members in the IDF. And I want to tell you how moral they are. They're they're probably the 2 of the most moral people I know. My son, very recently, my older son, who's a commander, right? They brought him back, even though we had to get married, right? They in times of war, this happens. My daughter, like she was being a stupid girl, right? And she said, right after October 7th, they should just carpet bomb it and make the whole place into glass, right? Which, let's be clear, we have the absolute ability to do without blinking. I mean, if we wanted to do a genocide, we could do it in 24 minutes. I hate to be the one to break this to you. And we really could, okay? We really could. But my son, he answers straight away. And he says, we couldn't do that because it would be wrong. And forget international law. It's wrong. It would be evil, right? And that's the caliber of person. My other son, yes, he has. I'm sure he has killed. Was it Hamas combatants? Maybe civilians died as well. I don't know. I know he's there because Hamas has dragged us there, and we weren't interested in this war. I mean, that's the other thing. We want to live in peace, you fucking moron. Right? You bought into this absolute ridiculous sham that, we want to really destroy them all and hate the land for ourselves. No. Why? To whose advantage is that? Right? To whose advantage is that? I'm sorry. Gaza should be a freaking paradise. It's beachfront property. They could have, they were left viable businesses when they ethnically cleansed the Jews. Because here's another question for you. Let's say to make a 2-state solution, right? My house in an occupied territory. Why can't I still live here? Why can't I live here as a Jew in a Palestinian state with all the rights that Muslims have in the Jewish state? Well, I don't understand why I need to be ethnically cleansed, and I don't understand why you're okay with that. I really don't, right? I really freaking don't. But it's so offensive. It's so deeply offensive when you call like these really genuinely fine, good people, evil Nazis. It's disgusting. It's the inversion of reality, and you do it out of sheer ignorance. And I think you do it because it makes you feel good. It makes you feel superior. It makes you feel like, I'm a moral crusader. But you're doing exactly what every peasant with a pitchfork did throughout time when they drove Jews out their villages for the evil blood libels, for their using a Christian baby. And here's the thing, again, you were just a lot of things you stated were just verifiably nonsense. Israel has never entered into a two-state agreement. Are you out your fucking mind? Again, it's just factually easily disprovable. Right? So, but here's the weird thing, and here's why I think you might be anti-Semitic, because you cling so hard onto these things that you know nothing about, and you're very clear that you know nothing about it. Again, you thought Israel's an apartheid state. How? What I mean, like, I my local pharmacist is an Arab. What right do I have that he doesn't? And I mean it. What right do I have that he doesn't? You have Arabs on the Supreme Court. You have Arabs in politics. You have Arabs. Again, 20% of the country are Palestinians with complete right. Okay, what rights do they have? But here's the thing: you've been fed this bullshit all your freaking life, right? And you're like, well, there's got to be something in it. I would think the same thing too, but it's not. So, what do I see for the future? I don't know what's going to be. I do know that we are not going to stop until Hamas is eradicated. We cannot. It's them or us, right? We can't coexist. They've demonstrated that. We can't have October the 7th hang overhead ever again. When we said never again, we fucking meant it. Right? We meant it. And it should be, we shouldn't have to fight about that. It should be a very peaceful thing. Just don't try and murder Jews because they're Jews, which is what Hamas is doing. Don't try and murder Jews because they're Jews, right? Don't exist to do that. That's the only thing we're asking. Right? No, fuck you. We have a right to try and murder Jews. I'm like, well, we're going to build a fence then. Oh, how inhuman! Ah! God, you guys are out your fucking minds. Hypocrite cunts, all lot of you. Yeah, we would rather no one gets hurt in the pursuit of you not murdering us. But we're not going to let you do it, mate. Right? And if 10 of you have to die, then 10 of you have to die. If 1,000 of you have to die, 1,000. 30,000, 100,000, 10 million, 1 billion. I don't give a shit. And I know that might sound chilling. We're not going to let you do it anymore. And it doesn't matter how gosh darn cross you are. Oh, why won't they let them kill the Jews? It's so unfair. Yeah, I'm sorry, mate. No, we're not going to let you murder us. And why do we think you want to? Well, there's October the 7th. There's from the river to the sea, Palestine will be free. You'll be screaming at the top of your fucking voices. I mean, the shame that most English people feel, which I wish you could understand, when there are fascist marchers walking through the streets, you've got hundreds of thousands of people baying for a Jewish genocide. Yeah, from the river to the sea, Palestine means I'm dead. My kids are dead. My friends are dead. Oh no! Oh, we're the bad guys. How are we the bad guys in this? There's no occupation. Certainly not in fucking Gaza, right? If this was if this didn't involve Jews, it will be a disputed territory that you wouldn't give a shit about. And honestly, Palestinian lives do not matter to you, right? They only matter when you can blame them on being on losing them because of Jews. That's the only time a Palestinian life matters to people like you, Philip Morris, I believe. Right, disgusting, right? And again, you're engaging in the most traditional anti-Semitism to make you feel good about yourself, based on blithering nonsense. There's no 75 years of oppression. No, that 75 years is trying to stop a fucking insane group of people trying to murder us because we're Jews. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry you had to get pretty good at it. Fuck me. You see what happens when we blinked? Yeah. And then, you disgusting pieces of shit. You know, oh, no, what rapes? What babies murdered? What babies murdered? I fucking met the first responders firsthand. Like, the kid, right? A kid lives on the corner of my street, like 3 houses away, right? His army server was coming down. He was one of the first, I think he was in the group, one of the first ways to recapture the area, right? He saw firsthand. He was one of the first in. They had to let him out for psychotherapy. It was fucked up. He saw shit that people shouldn't have to fucking see. And I know there's death and misery in Gaza. No one's happy about that. Oh, they should be free. Right? They should be free. So I was talking about what I see. So firstly, we're going to have to eradicate Hamas. When I say eradicate Hamas, we're not just talking in Gaza. They're also in the West Bank. They're fucking everywhere, right? And when I say eradicate Hamas, when we're done with the troops, right, then I assume Mossad's going to go in and kill every one of those pieces of shit fucks in whatever fucking country they are, right? I hope they do it with extreme prejudice. I really do, and I think I'm being incredibly what's the word? Hasidic is a Jewish word. Loving, right? I'm full of loving kindness. I'm saying just them, not their wives and their children, and their mothers and their fathers. Right? I'm being really nice. Right? That's gonna happen. Right? There's nowhere anyone can run after this. Fuck you. It's not gonna happen. And I'm sorry they chose to bring this on themselves. They really shouldn't start wars. Right? So I see that happening. Then what happens the next day? I think the best course of action is firstly call for massive and specifically Arab money to rebuild Gaza, right? Rebuild it to be freaking beautiful. Rebuild it with hotels. Rebuild it to be the most wonderful place that people want to go, right? Rebuild it, and I think it needs to be policed by. My choice would be like a Saudi Arabian force, some kind of Muslim force, right? I think it'd be a real mistake to have. I mean, if it's going to be Israelis, it should be Druze who are Muslims in the army, right? Oh, really? Oh, but we're all white colonial occupiers. Yes, saying that is being anti-Semitic, right? I think we need, and this is where Israel was a schmuck, right? I think Israel needs to have complete control of their media and their social media, and I think we need to pump the idea is life is much better if we're friends, right? Life is way better. Why? Because life is way better if we're friends, and that's what we all want, right? That your Twitter feed is constantly painting me and everybody I know as bloodthirsty evil Jews. You're being played, mate. It's just not true, and you. Get on a fucking plane. Get on a fucking plane and walk down a fucking street. That's all I need to do to prove my point. It's fucking ridiculous, right? It's absolutely ridiculous, right? I mean, this distorted view you have of what Israel is. In fact, wait, did somebody put a video on Twitter about this recently? Let me have a look. Hang on. Where was it? I might have got clever and bookmarked it, right? Maybe. No. I got this video of this woman taking on what's her name? I gotta look up again. Mia Khalifa at an airport. That's so funny. And the son's like, "Oh God, just leave it alone, Mum. Don't. Is this it? No. I think this is it. Yeah. Let me grab this video. What? Oh, that's annoying. Twitter's got a whole new functionality now that opens up a video on the side. I don't want to open on the side. I want to go to the bloody video so I can get the address. No, I don't want to. Out. Let me see if I can find this guy's feed. It just took me to his sodding feed. It's so annoying. No. Well, and now I'm scrolling through trying to find it, and it's God knows where. Okay, just tell me where it is. How about no? It's MSNBC. No. Okay, I keep having to scroll down like half a mile before I get to it. From January 15th. Aha! There you go. Finally. Where is this? Video downloader. Now I can't find the download thing. Okay, we'll do after. So what do you want? Then go YouTube downloader. Doink. Here it comes. Okay, so this is actually worth the trouble. Now I'm watching it. It's worth the trouble. Okay. Doink. Finally. Is it downloaded yet? Try that again. Looks like it's downloaded. Video file. There you go.
In the heart of Tel Aviv, at the apartheid.
Yeah, middle of Tel Aviv, big bloody mosque, right? How's this apartheid? I don't understand. Explain it to me.
Look, guys, it's the apartheid.
More. That's a church. I don't understand. How are they together?
It's the apartheid.
Yeah, do you notice those? This is what most of Israel looks like. You dumb fuck. Arabs and Jews walking in the same street together.
It's the apartheid.
And I want to be clear. This isn't an Arab town. This is Tel Aviv. This is the like the waterfront. It's nice. They made it into a whole thing recently. Yeah, this one doesn't understand. They're just talking about Muslims. They're not talking about Christians, right? Christians like apartheid for us? No. Yeah, Jews and Arabs everywhere. That's what the country's like. So look, again, there's no apartheid. There's no certainly no occupation in Gaza, right? We left in 2005 to make peace. So we saw that worked. There's no 75 years of oppression. It's 75 years of trying to stop these fucked up, insane people who refuse to live with us in peace, murdering us. That's it. That's really it. 75 years of Jew hatred based on, a couple of thousand years before that, right? Weird thing is, where the Arab world used to be way better than the European world for Jew hatred. Now you've all come together. So Philip, there's just really nothing you're saying that holds any water at all, right? And it's you're making yourself look like an anti-Semite, right? And that upset you, but you make yourself look like an anti-Semite when you do like anti-Semitic shit. So maybe think. Listen, you don't even need to agree with me, but just at the very least, go and look at the other side of the story, which is it's not hard to find. I don't know, but again, if you don't want to find it, you probably are anti-Semitic, right? You probably are. It's your right to be, frankly, as far as I can see. But don't pretend yourself you're not. All right, with that, let's move on. Get to the chat. Share screen. So I feel this is kind of a bonus stream, right? Although like everybody's out, it's just me home right now. My wife and daughter went out to Comedy for Kobe, right? This guy called Kobe was killed about 15-20 years ago in a terror attack, and the parents put together this thing called Comedy for Kobe to keep it. It's the sort of thing that he thought that their son would like, and to keep his name alive. And it's like they bring they have a tour about once or twice a year of doing comedy for they get you a stand up, and they're fun, right? They're fun. I'm not the hugest fan, but there you go. But my daughter got cheap tickets because he's a teacher, so it's just me here. So I'm thinking, I did like half the stream, like quarter of the stream last night. Let's get the full thing. But anyway, I didn't really want to break my head on the thumbnail, and I had this idea. This is absolutely, I think, fantastic. Quite frankly, the new era Doctor Who. In the new era Doctor Who, everything is canon. So the Rabbi from Another Planet presents the two Romanas, smutty adventures in time and space. Doctor, are you sure the Routons have infiltrated 19th century Parisian brothel? Have to go there undercover? Well, hopefully not under too much cover, surely. Yes. Look, it's not good to have such a high opinion of oneself, but man, this is a good thumbnail. And I got the season 14 console room. It's all going. Tom's little expression is perfect. Also, what can I say? Mary Tam and Lala Ward, they look a lot like. Lala Ward looks better than I think she would in real life. Mary Tam, about right? And I think the colouring goes well as well, doesn't it? Right, the white for Mary Tam gives out that Rebus operation feel, and the red for Lala Ward because maybe she's a bit of a goer. Fine. So I missed the first 17 minutes of the chat. Let's see if I can get it from YouTube. Right. Let's find out. 1 second. So we go here. Doink. Doink. See if we go all the way back to the beginning. No. Oh, that's so sad. I'm so sorry. I missed the first 17 minutes of the chat. If you were in the first 17 minutes, please say hello again. Cinnamon Toast Crunch is here. What life's all about. I would say Cinnamon Crunch Toast. Could well be what life is all about. Lonnie is here doing Lonnie. Adam Time Lord. Big Fitness is shit now. Yeah, mostly. I agree with you, right? It really is. It really is. I used to get everything. Now I refuse to spend money so I can be lectured. Yeah, 100%. Right? And there's sometimes versus Rutan's first one was pretty good, that being said. Right? But yeah, 100%. I don't feel bad pirating them and to listen to them before I buy them. Because I've been burnt too many times. Right, it's like, and there's such a big market they could have now. They just made normal fucking Doctor Who, or they promoted their old material, which was normal Doctor Who. Right, that's Adam Time Lord. Lonnie, I said hello to Paul Toastland. Is it hating Paul Toastland? That says Sanago 24. Review it yourself. Is it hating? Review it yourself. Didn't realize this was live. Well, what can you do? I need to reach out to you. Review yourself, assuming you're still here. That if you want to do a show about Remembrance of the Daleks, maybe this weekend, let me know. Right, love Remembrance of the Daleks. All-time classic. Right. Vanessa Law. Silly, are you Jewish? Well, you are Jewish. Well, it has been known. Low flying bicycles here doing low flying bicycles. This is Darren M. I don't think it's anti-Semitic. I think it's just anti-war, which is untypical for Doctor Who fans, said Diogo 24. Very fair, right? Especially ones who base their whole worldview on war is in the deep. There should have been another way, right? There should have been another way. That's very fair, right? And that's why I was kind of trying to reach out. But I really wanted to understand how insanely offensive it is. Holy shit. You've no idea, right? You've no idea. And it's just, I don't know. Look, I would rather say you're not anti-Semitic, right? I would really rather that. It was Queen and it was England and the Queen and colonialism. These people have absolutely no idea what they're talking about. That is true. That is true. That was Vanessa Law. How you doing, Vanessa Law? Andy Dwelly is here. How you doing, Andy Dwelly? Oh, Curse of the Rabbi. Yes! It was tag me in. Fine. So Dippy Strawbridge is here. I'm anti-war, but that's actually a very complex part of this, right? Because clearly the evil globalists want this war to go ahead, right? And they're endorsing Israel, right? Which is not good, right? Not good at all. I mean, it's good for me, right? But I can understand people again. So here's the weird thing. During the engagement party, I was talking to a bunch of my the Jewish friends, because they were all here, and trying to convince them that if somebody was not supporting Israel in the Israel-Hamas war, wasn't because they were anti-Semitic. I was on the absolute other side of the equation. It's a crazy thing. Because they were like, well, I was trying to explain to them, like, the things that we are second nature to us are cultural, right? Like, I'm like, well, let's take Candace Owens. We were talking about Candace. Is she anti-Semitic? I don't think she is, right? I think she's distrustful of this war, quite rightly so, right? And I think she was pushed into a corner by Ben Shapiro, and then things got ballsy, right? I don't think Tucker Carlson is anti-Semitic. I think questioning this war doesn't make you anti-Semitic, but telling my Jewish friends that it's like getting through a brick fucking wall, right? No wonder says Remembrance was great. No wonder the new stuff seems how it is when the episodes were like that. Go about it. You're 100% right? You're 100% right. So yeah. If I don't get in touch with you, please get in touch with me by twat. Yeah, I think that's how we spoke. And then maybe this weekend we'll do a remembrance of thought. Maybe we'll make it a thing, right? Maybe we'll make it a thing, and we'll do like classic episodes. Rabbi's been hijacked. We should be getting Jodie Whittaker's horse face. Icky Thump! No! No, that'd be too evil. That would be too evil. There dear starters here. Thank you for joining us. Here we go. And now whizzing through the chat. Am I back yet? Tea and cake though. Ooh. By the way, I'm thinking of making my own Jaffa cakes, right? Because Dan has really got me on a Jaffa cake. What's his name? A kick. Because they keep talking about it on Type 40, right? But I can't get them out here. And I'm making my own jam, which is awesome. Oh my God, the marmalade I made just gets better and better with time. I make a giant, a lime one and a lemon one. Oh, so good. It's clearly, it's just so good. Anybody says it's the router. I suspect you're right? And I don't want to jiggle with anything, right? Anybody fancy jelly, baby? Oh, more than you know, baby. David Strawberries, I said hello to you. I'm sure I said hello to you. Fine. I should be back any second now. For full-time after to sign up for Rabbi's newsletter. Yeah, here you go. We only get that if you get the paid version. Fine. I don't understand. Fine. Rabbi, you had an internet blowout. That is true. That is true. In more ways than one. I'm in the position to take Israel's side in simply the grounds that Hamas are clearly the worst side, the biggest obstacle of the beast. They are the only obstacle. Frankly, again, look, the people of Gaza shouldn't live the way they're living. 100% they shouldn't live the way they're living. All they got to do is not try and kill Jews. Right? That's really it. That's the bar. That's everything, right? Matthew Burrows is there. Matthew Burrows. EastEnders set to be sold because BBC are so hard up. Fuck me. Really? Yeah, it's all falling apart. And I love the Ray movie was cancelled. Oh, is that sweet? That's so insanely sweet. Let's say hypothetically that I'm Ben Shapiro and I'm not annoying. I can't imagine that hypothetical. It's something we were talking about. The problem. The problems that the 20 years of multiculturalism without really thinking it through is Britain is going through right now, right? Not good news. I found a non-woke TTRPG make freely. I have no idea what this is. What that is? So it says Saul Shymek. I don't know what TTR role play. What TTR role playing games? I wonder what TT is though. I don't know. My wife is expecting 7 inches. Says, "Look, we wear low flying bicycle." I said, "You'll be lucky." I remember when Barry Humphries did a Les Patterson album, and it was called 12 Inches of Les. Preach says Christmas toast, right? I remember Herod killing Jewish babies, but that's the New Testament. New Testament, by the way, has a much better story. Like you have one focal point, right? It's easier to people to grasp onto. Although the Old Testament is super epic, right? It is super duper epic. Cars are going to be new to buy if the government had even slightly notched better than exactly, right? Exactly. Right. Just made a loaf, says Jonathan Cox. Is that food or did you go to the bathroom? So it's 3 fractured ribs. What for? That never healed properly due to cultural enrichment types. Get lectured about Jews, white people, bad. How did you get ribbed? I'm so sorry about that. Right? I've learned not to listen to moral inferiors, and that's the problem. They are the moral inferiors, and they know they're the moral inferiors, right? Which is why they scream so bloody loudly, right? Ethan Burkhardt is there. Ethan, thank you for joining us. And I'm nearly caught up with the chat. Look at this. Doink says Paul Tosland. She says disgusting. Mia, I mean. Oh yeah. So have you seen that? And it's funny because the boy is so insanely embarrassed about this. Let me find this for you. And this is such a Jewish bloody mother. Oh my god. Where is this? Here it is. There you go. This really is hilarious. I mean, and yeah, I don't want to disparage people for sex work, but like, come on, darling, it's not that legitimate. Yeah. I want to know how this mother knows so much about what's her name? Mia. What's it? Khalifa Doink. If that's how you spell it. She's really very much up on Mia Khalifa. Video file. Doink.
Yeah. You proud of your mom?
Israel Chai. I'm Israel Chai. You see?
Yeah, that's a Chai, man. Look, I hate to say this woman clearly isn't a whore, and you are. So, darling, you should really keep it to yourself.
That?
You waiting for the bus? Because I'm waiting for my valet.
The kid is like, fuck, Mum, I was whacking off to her 20 minutes ago. Mum. Okay, will this make her want to whack off to her more or less? You can never tell. Mum, can I go somewhere and die now?
She got real quiet now.
I'm Israel Chai.
Get away from me. Your breath smells awful. Oh my god, you smell like knockoff falafel.
Jeez, that's a real porn star comeback.
Bye, I'm Israel Chai.
Let's go.
Like, Mum, please stop. For the love of God, I feel bad for the kid. Boobs. Says Low Flying Bicycle. Yes, we're back, right? So we're back. It's been nearly 1 hour, Rabbi record. I've gone off. Ramana 1 was the best. I tend to agree with you, but I tell you, this a combination of Ramanas, it doesn't sound bad to me. The 2 Ramanas definitely sounds like, I think if you had some body lotion, this could probably power some kind of ultimate power drive, right? That's basically how I think. Yeah, man, my marmalade, freaking awesome. I can't believe how well it came out. Dan Jaffa Cake, please subscribe to Dan's channel. It feels like Thursday because I'm streaming today. Tabletop RPG says 8-bit Nick Boy. Thank you. Loaf of Bread clarifies Jonathan Cox. There we had a bit of a callback. You should get together with Cinnamon Toast Crunch. Make your loaf of bread, turn it into Cinnamon Toast Crunch. Just going back to the king's prostate. What? For a moment, imagine being the doctor saying, "Yeah, I'll put my finger up the king's ass." Oh, if I was a doctor, I would do that, right? Yes, that's like that would certainly make me smile. I mean, that's a real claim to fame. I got to put my finger up the king's ass. Who wouldn't want that, right? Who wouldn't want that accolade? I can't think of any, right? Are we going to start over there? Here, 1 second. We got that to go to. How? I got to click over here. What are we going to look at first? Where is it? No, we're not going to do that yet. What we got? I had a bunch of stuff lined up, right? I'm just trying to work out what's first. And then, what's her name? Fine, we'll cover. Maybe we'll start with the Ray movie, right? I think that's something I definitely do want to cover. We're going to talk about the TARDIS, and there was a very good article on Bleeding Cool. Oh, you know what? Here, let's start with this, right? Let's start with this. 1 second. Doink. So if you Magnus Esper is here. How are you doing, sir? Thank you for joining us. So doing share screen. So I actually binge watched something this week. Now, if you're outside the UK, I would find a way of getting this. Mr. Bates versus the Post Office. So it did gangbusters, right? It did absolute gangbusters for a very simple reason. Now, this was a very non-showy production, even though it had like a great cast, and it really did have excellent cast. Very well written, very well directed, everything put together. But it wasn't showy in any way, shape, or form. It was telling a simple morality tale. And I think that's why it did so much better than everything else. I think that's why Doctor Who failed, right? They tried to tell a morality tale presenting immorality as if it was moral, right? That's with like the Yasmin Finney thing, right? We got to count the Georgia Moffat thing as well. I think their take on morality is skewed, which is why I think it's very difficult to write these sort of things. However, this was a simple morality tale, and it was very well done. So I basically binge watched this. Right, I watched the first episode. No, that's pretty good. And then I went the next day. I watched the 2, 3, and 4 because it just like ate out because it was extremely compelling. So if you don't know the story, it's very traditional English skullduggery. People who owned little post office, they had a new computer system, and it just didn't work, and it screwed up thousands of people, saying that they owed money that they didn't, and they all ended up having to. A lot of people went to jail. People killed themselves. It was absolutely. It was disgusting, right? It was absolutely disgusting. So this docudrama is the story of it, but the much more interesting story in context with Doctor Who is the ratings it got, right? And this is the ratings Doctor Who should have got if they didn't go insanely political. If they went 2005 to 2010, that level of politicalness, it would have been fine. And honestly, I think they shot their entire new era in the foot with that first episode. I really do. Right? And people who are on board with the trans thing go, but why? They're just trans people. No, you're trying to make me believe your religion. Right? Your religion is that having a penis is no obstacle to being a woman, where I believe it is. Right? It's okay you believe what you believe. But and we've always believed different things in a multicultural world. But we live in a multicultural world, right? We believe different things. They can't cope with that. Anyway, Mr. Bates versus Post Office is ITV's biggest new drama in over a decade. Well, it's really their only new drama in over a decade, right? I mean, there really hasn't been any focus on drama, and the only reason this got by is because it's very naturalistic and had a very good cast, right? Even beating the launch of Downton Abbey in 2010. That's very good. The series, including the documentary, had 16.6 million streams. Right. So remember when the BBC said, Doctor Who had over 10 million streams over the Christmas period. They didn't say, was it the shooty episode? Was it the specials? Was it classic? I reckon it was mostly classic because they didn't specify. I reckon it was mostly classic. It was the biggest drama across all channels since Line of Duty on BBC Series 6 and BBC One 2020. Because again, Line of Duty wasn't woke, right? Didn't lecture you constantly, and we get constantly lectured. That's really the draw. We get constantly freaking lectured, and I think most people are done with being constantly bloody lectured. So it's biggest drama across all channels since The Bodyguard in 2018. And ITV's biggest drama since Broadchurch in 2017. Well, I don't understand how it was a bigger launch than Downton Abbey in 2010, and also Broadchurch in 2017. Shouldn't that be okay? Whatever. The 4 episodes of the Motorsports program on the channel so far this year. It's January. Come on. Toby Jones played Alan Bates, while Monica Dolan, Julie Hemsworth, Alex Jennings, Ian Hart, Leo Williams, Will Mellor, Claire Calbrace, Sean Dooley, Amit Shah, Leslie Nichol, Adam James, and Catherine Kenney are also in the cast. Between 2000 and 2013, the post office held thousands of its sub-postmasters and most liable for financial discrepancies thrown up by Horizon, its hugely expensive but unreliable computer accounting system. Despite warnings that the system was flawed, the post office relentlessly pursued sub-posters and postmistresses, telling them that they were the only ones having problems with the Horizon. Yeah, it was so dirty, right? It's just like the BBC, right? It was because they wanted to preserve the reputation of the post office. Right, it's so dirty, right? What they were doing. Of those affected by the 40 IT systems, 736 were prosecuted, and hundreds more lost their livelihoods, homes, and life savings because they paid back money the post office claimed that was missing. Right, Mr. Bates versus the post office is now available stream on ITVX. But yeah, look at the figures. You know, episode 1, 9 million. Then it goes up. 9,482. I think these are the overnights, right? Do you see it going up? Right, that's the difference. Yeah, so let's look at the Doctor Who ratings accumulated. Doctor Who. Yeah, compare that. All right. I mean, look, even their 7-day plus 4 is 7.49. Right. Look, good for them. They went up. I don't trust these figures. I really don't. You know, 7 days that came out 2 weeks later, and it had the lowest AI, which is bad news. I know in the 80s is good, right? But you know, this is what I mean by them being by saying these figures are shit. Right, it should be because people don't. There aren't people who watch those sort of numbers. Excuse me, 4.73 compared to 10,370,000. Right, yeah, and again, it was a drama that genuinely reflected the audience in that most people were white, and it wasn't a thing. Right, it wasn't a thing because the country is majority white. I'm not saying get rid of any brown people from TV, but the country is majority white. It needs to reflect society, right? Having everybody have a tranny in it doesn't reflect society, right? Also had Mrs. Patmore in it. Always good to see her. Like a bit of Mrs. Patmore. Always puts me in mind. She played it as sub postmasters. Also had Sean Dooley in it, who looks like he comes from 1977, right? If they still made Life on Mars, he was totally in it, or Ashes to Ashes. Looks more like an 80s person, right? And Lee Mack? Who was it? His name? He was in Doctor Who, a Jodie episode, I think. I can't see the name. Alan Bates, Monica, Julia. I don't know. Maybe it's Ian Hart. I don't know. But again, look. This is what making popular drama is supposed to look like, right? This is what making popular drama is supposed to look like. Making unpopular drama looks more like this, right? Doink. Titania Massey says Hulk season 2 is unlikely. I think we blew our budget and Disney is like, no thanks. Season 1 budget was, get this. I mean, this is insane. 225 million. 225 million for that piece of shit. And that's breathtaking. And it looks shit as well. But for that piece of shit that just went to so much trouble to take a shit on its audience, it's insane. I mean, that really is genuine insanity itself. But that's Disney. Right, which is why Doctor Who is on shaky, bloody ground, frankly. If they're pinning their hopes on Disney saving them, I would say think again, right? Think again. Is there a link to an article here? I mean, I don't even know what to say. And this is supposed to be better than Echo, which I'm not even interested in at all. She-Hulk team explains delivering a finale's big FU to trolls. Yeah, I think the big FU was you don't have a TV show anymore, right? But that's more important to you to say FU. I mean, like, look at this, right? 225 million. Like, what were they even thinking? 225 million. What? I mean, what? How many episodes was it? It was like, and that half-hour episode. Look at that Joker. That's funny. 1 second. Let's look at the episode guide. It was like 8 episodes as well. 1 second. She-Hulk episode guide. How could I don't understand how it costs so bloody much. I guess because they're massively incompetent. Was it 9 episodes? It was 9 episodes, right? And they're about half-hour each. Fuck me. Do they have the episode length? Let's see if they got the written down. 38 minutes. Okay. 1 second. Let's do the math. First, let's find out the minute length. And when you say 38 minutes, is that including recaps? Probably. So we got, okay, 38 plus. Next one is 30 plus. Oh, people visiting. Oh, this is so bad. 34 plus 36 minutes plus, and then we're up to, is this episode 4? Yeah. Plus 31 plus, and again, I think this is a lot of recap time as well. 31. Essentially, it's a half-hour show. 35. And then episode 8 is 36. With okay, so that comes up to 271, right? 271. So 225 million. So that's 6 zeros, right? 225 divided into 271. Okay, this thing costs $830,000, $258,030 a minute. Could you? I like for that shit. That's unbelievable. You can hear how shocked I am, right? That's cray, right? Let's see if anybody talks about that. The Cosmic Book News. Oh, we've got to talk about Erin Moriarty. That was really sad what she's done. This like really beautiful woman has like given herself plastic surgery, and it has not gone well. No one wants to play Sentry. So Dizzy says no thanks to it. While appearing on Nerding Great Stream, Titania Masley was asked if She-Hulk Season 2 is happening. She said, I don't think so. I think we blew a budget. You think so? On $1 million a minute, essentially, which about that. Fucking hell. They went no thanks. The rumor back from December also said that said the same, which caused the thought that Titania Masley has been fired by Marvel to go viral on TikTok. However, just because She-Hulk 2 might not be happening doesn't mean the actress and character can't appear in the MCU. She-Hulk happens to be rumored for Captain America: Brave New World. Why are you bothering making that? Like, literally no one's going to see it. I genuinely, literally nobody is going to see that. It's ridiculous. She-Hulk happens to be rumoring Brave New World. And then it could always appear in the upcoming Avengers movie. I'm glad you thought that was a good idea, right? Okay, that you spent $1 million on that idea. Fuck me. Moving on to other projects. Today said in she also doubted that She-Hulk season 2. I mean, I don't think so yet. But I say Maslany. Is that her name? Maslany answered about season 2. Kevin in the scene seems to be very dismissive of the idea. So if we're basing this off the real Kevin, then it doesn't seem likely. Well, okay. Again, you did shit. I mean, let's be clear. You did. I mean, did that have your ratings over here? I don't think it does. Right? Is there any way you could possibly have it down? No, they're not going to tell anybody the ratings. Music, marketing, reception. What? With 451 million minutes watched. Alternate Law was the 7th most watched original. Oh, well, that's not really that impressive. I know. Sounds like a baloney to me, right? Baloney. Yeah, look, if it was good, if it was successful, they would have make more. Doctor Who season 3, I don't know. I really don't know. Because it's not going to hit the cameras before season 1 finishes. I reckon it's unlikely. All right, I do reckon it's unlikely. If season 1 if season 1 comes out and it tanks, which I think there's quite a strong possibility of, then I just don't see it. Right, I just don't see it coming together. But he was also, I think, just trying to get rid of Jen at the point when she was asking too many questions. Who knows? The interviewer also recommended she move on to other projects. She said, yeah, exactly. Okay. Tatiana Maslany blasted Disney CEO Bob Iger during a summer over comments made about the strike. Said, I think it's completely out of touch. Oh, that was do you think that might have something to do with you not getting a second season? Oh, please, Russell, get mouthy about Bob Iger. That'd be awesome, right? That would be awesome. I think he's completely out of touch. He's completely out of touch with the workers who make the shows happen, who make people watch these shows. Yeah, but nobody watches it. That's the thing, you dumb cunt. Nobody watched it, right? Because it was shit. I understand it made you giggle, and the other girl is giggle, but you're not the audience, right? It would have been fine in a functional MCU, right? Which is essentially a masculine brand. But that's not what happened. They make people bring the people back to watch these shows and to making money. Yeah, exactly. You weren't making money, right? That's not a good negotiating position. Having worked on a Disney show, I know where people fall through the cracks and where people are taken advantage of, and it's outrageous the amount of wealth that is not shared. I agree with you. With the people who actually make the show, the cast, the crew, the right. I agree with you completely. Right? According to MD, she has Green Bank and Invasion to a Bonfire in the works. Well, good for her. Right? Good for her. It's crazy. So, speaking of which, let's go and look at over here. Oh, shall we look at him bounding into comics? Oh, that's the coffee that I have. DC is relaunching Elseworld as an imprint in 2024. And you probably didn't notice. Yeah, because they destroyed it. Star Wars, new Star Wars claims that Rey film is delayed indefinitely, but don't get your hopes up. Oh, so it might actually be happening. I didn't realize it had Stephen Knight as the main scriptwriter. I think Stephen Knight's very good, right? I like Stephen Knight a lot. Paramount announced a Star Trek Kelvin Timeline origin film helmed by Andor director J.J. Abrams' fourth entry remains MIA. Yeah, no, it's not going to happen, right? Oh, I want to get to the dumbed down article. Yeah, let's look at this. GLAAD CEO Kate Ellis pushes narrative that transgenders are How can you be underrepresented in Hollywood? Claims political pundits are about to blame for spreading misinformation about the trans community. Look, here. This isn't misinformation. This is called information, right? Information. Where's that thing? Oh, here it is. Doink. There may be some connection with transgenderism and mental illness that I don't understand. I think maybe we do. But like, okay, so we see the Colorado Springs shooter is identified as non-binary. The Denver shooter identified as trans. The Aberdeen shooter identified as trans. The Nashville shooter identified as trans. And Uvalde shooter identified as trans. Right? This is just, the tip of an iceberg. Right? I'm sorry. All right? I'm sorry, but if you want to have a conversation about the trans world, we can have it. But like, you guys just seem very intent on stifling that conversation and calling anybody a bigot who has very clear, legitimate questions, right? And they are clear, legitimate questions. So let's see about the Star Wars story. 1 second. What's the headline? So, new Star Wars rumor claims Rey film delayed indefinitely, but don't get your hopes up. My hopes are up, right? My hopes are up already, right? They're totally up. A new Star Wars rumor has awakened, this time claiming that Disney's upcoming Rey-centric film trilogy has already met its demise. Well, look, the reason people believe it because people have a bias towards logic and reason, right? And nobody can really believe they're actually going to make this piece of shit movie, right? We're like, what? It's like, okay, it's like doing a Marvel, what's it called? Femforce or whatever it's called, Female Avengers, right? Nobody believes that's actually going to happen. The recent movie has met its demise. So yeah, I mean, look, when I first heard this, I thought, well, it's a civil war going on in Lucasfilm. Look, if they're bringing Jon Favreau back for a Mando movie, that means that the Kathleen Kennedy faction isn't doing so well. And then having this indefinitely put on hold tends to, lead into that, play into that vision. Supposedly it's set in the post-sequel trilogy, the New Jedi Order era of the franchise timeline. The standalone movie will follow Rey, nobody, Palpatine, Skywalker, take your pick, as she sets out to instruct a new generation of Jedis in the ways of the Force. Yeah, and the spoiler rumor is that she has twin children, a boy and a girl, and the boy turns to the dark side of the Force and kills Rey about 2/3 of the way through the movie, right? And then moving forward, you focus on the siblings, right? First time production in 2023 Star Wars Celebration event. The project has received a few updates since. It sounds like Big Finish's Fugitive Doctor series. The only ones coming via a pair of interviews in which star Daisy really denoted that she had yet to see a full script. Again, so Stephen Knight was writing it. Now, Stephen Knight, freaking awesome, right? Did Peaky Blinders. Everything he's done has been very good. That was until January 16th, when the World of Real's Jordan Rumney shared a supposed piece of news that got a lot of people's hopes up, mine included. Okay. I've been told that Disney has delayed the film indefinitely. Oh, please. That would be so good. And so we never say it, which is why they surprised everyone last week with and decided to announce The Mandalorian and Grogu as the next Star Wars movie. And again, it being by Jon Favreau is really significant. So in Mando Season 3, you had the big Mando with the giant gun, right, getting cut down by the Praetorian Guard from the Last Jedi? Whatever that piece of shit movie was, right? Now, I actually thought that was the only good scene in the movie, by the way, right? I like the red clad, force using Knights of Ren or whatever. They were really cool, right? They were really cool, and I think they really, really worked. And I like the idea of Rey and Kylo Ren teaming up, right, and doing something different, right? That was brilliant. Everything else around it was just turgid shit, right? Relentless turgid shit. Hey, and not even subtly relentless turgid, but really genuinely relentless turgid shit. The problems seem to reside in the creative differences. 1 second. He reported they just don't have confidence in the new Jedi Order will be happening in the near future. Well, if it was happening, you wouldn't have any confidence it would succeed. Because it sounds like utter garbage. The problem seems to reside in the creators, including the screenwriter Stephen Knight and Lucasfilm. So yeah, they apparently got a bunch of notes making. I said you got to make the women stunninger and braver, right, or something like that. I mean, again, Stephen Knight is a real class act. I really recommend you go and check out pretty much anything he's done, which is normally very good. I'm told that draft had already been written for the film, but the Lucasfilm gave him so many notes that he decided to start from scratch. Okay, that makes a lot of sense. Further, he asserted, to make matters worse, there is a possibility that Knight might not be staying on board for the project. His frustrations have grown, so he's put Star Wars on the back burner and is now focused on his screenplay for the Peaky Blinders movie. Yeah, actually, instead of doing a Peaky Blinders movie, could you do it set in the Peaky Blinders universe, but let's have it set starring Tom Hardy's like Jewish gangster character. That's a movie I want to see, right? Which is supposed to go into production in the fall. I thought it was supposed to go into production in summer, they said. I don't know. I thought it was going into production before then, right? And I can look. He's successful enough. He can say, "Leave me alone, fucking stupid story group that knows nothing." Production in film, but then, right on time, just a few hours after the rumor began to spread like wildfire on social media, Gizmodo released their own report declaring that the Ray film. Well, I don't really trust Gizmodo. The Ray film, contrary to rumor report, is still on track. They're in the outer. Well, is Ahsoka season 2 still on track? Because I've only seen a few, hand sketched things about that. They're in the outlets German. What's it? German Lucia. The outlets German Lucia said that according to a supposed insider source at Lucasfilm, Remy Report was inaccurate and continues to write and be part of the process. In fact, the company is waiting for his latest draft as you read this. Yeah, I don't know. This sounds fishy, right? This sounds fishy. It sounds like it sounds like the initial report is right? The initial report of there being trouble in paradise. Yet for all the noise the internet has subsequently made over both reports, it should be noticed both lack any real verifiable sources to the claim. But again, the logic is still that they would never make a Ray movie. It will be insane. I mean, why not just burn the money instead? I mean, it's like, have you ever seen the Mel Brooks movie, The Producers, where they make a movie, they make a play that's so awful that it has to close instantly, and they make money on that? Maybe it's something like that. This is puzzling, as while Disney Lucasfilm may not be the most organized group in town, you can be certainly don't immediately shelve their announced films because a single screenwriter was temporarily putting them on the back burner. Yeah, but maybe it was a rogue announcement, maybe. Further, if Knight was truly experienced creative differences with Disney, history has shown that such issues are not necessarily the death knell of a given production. For example, look no further than the franchise's own Star Wars, a solo Star Wars story. Yeah, that was a disaster, right? That was a disaster, right? I would really love to see the original version, but was it Dan Merle, I think, had the best idea what this should have been. The movie should have been called Kessel Run, about some kind of a gritty caper, Western caper in the Star Wars universe. Han Solo should have been in it as the kid, along with Lando Calrissian, and he shouldn't have got the Millennium Falcon at the end, right? It should have been way before that. Which was first was reassigned from its original director duo Phil Lord and Chris Miller to Ron Howard. I mean, look, Lord and Miller went on to do Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, which was phenomenally successful, right? Phenomenally successful. And this wasn't. This was a phenomenal flop. Sadly, right? Because Aaron Einrich was awesome. He's a really good actor, right? He's a really genuinely good actor. He was good as Han Solo. The script was a piece of shit, I'm afraid. I wish I had all those resources that entire cast, and then with a good script, that would have been fantastic, right? Because they had a lot of stuff in it was great. Following the respective disagreements with the company's vision to the prequel film, but controversially, or conversely, I say, history is Disney has been unafraid to outright abandon its fair share of previously owned Star Trek projects. Yes, we got the Dan and Dave trilogy, to the Ryan Johnson trilogy, to the Patty Jenkins Rose wanted to do. I didn't hear about this. Guillermo del Toro's The Rise and Fall of Jabba the Hutt. I would have loved seeing that. To the Gina Carano-led Rangers of the New Republic, to countless other bits and pieces that never made it out the Disney hype machine. Yes. So again, it sounds like I believe this wasn't happening, right? I believe that wasn't happening. There's more than enough evidence to suggest that the canning of Sharmeen Obaid-Chinoy's upcoming film is not outside the realm of possibility. I mean, again, it's received so much shit, right? It's been so derided, quite rightly so, right? Quite rightly so. It's been so insanely derided. However, should we know that Gizmodo did actually have one true thing to say about the film's development? Can anyone say I'm 100% certain it's coming out? Of course not. This is Star Wars, and if the last thing is to talk to anything, if it's not until that until the cameras are rolling, nothing, not everything that's announced happening. That's true, right? Say all these pictures of Rey make me think, oh, what a piece of shit this movie was. The actual truth, this is the actual truth of the Rey movie. With so much unconfirmed information flying around, fans could do their best to temper their expectations until they see the official set materials or receive a direct company word for the cancellation. Well, they don't give you direct company word for like years and years later, right? Why Disney would pursue a sequel trilogy rather than focus on parts of the tension that the fans responded to is beyond my understanding, because it's a political move, essentially. But as of writing, that seems to be happening. Well, I mean, that's been happening for a long time, mate, right? I mean, that really has been happening for a long time. That's the next thing. What does it get to? Let's have a quick look. Let's go through the Doctor Who stories I have. Oh, yeah. First, let's have a look, see if there's anything new came out. Can Bi-Generation explain Susan Form's absence from Doctor Who? No, it can't. No. The Peter Cushing Doctor Who movies explained. They did movies with Peter Cushing in. There you go. I know. Like, what's the explanation about that? That seems pretty simple. BBC and Doctor Who production company savaged by locals in Seaside Revolt after shutting it down. What? Let's have a look at this. This is interesting. Here we go. BBC and Doctor Who production company savaged by locals in Seaside Resort after shutting it down to film, then trying to gag local families from talking about it. Kat said it's a little inconvenience could bring major benefits to the town. Well, I understand that. But, what happened here? This is hilarious. Seaside traders in the popular town in a popular town have been left angered as the escapade and surrounding roads, as the esplanade and surrounding roads will be shut for filming of a global BBC drama. Penrith on the Wales coast is regularly voted one of Britain's best places to live, but the seafront with the Victorian-style pier and Art Deco pavilion will be closed to vehicles on Monday and Tuesday this week. Oh, okay. Well, I didn't hear about any of this. Struggling shops and cafes were concerned about the impact on business, but council chief said the 2-day closure is necessary to allow filming and showcase the town to a global audience. So it must be Doctor Who. Yeah, what's the name of that Twitter account? Doctor Who Production News, right? Let's have a look. There we go. A second. Doctor Who PN, is it? PN? Oh, there you go. So this is the one that has the normally has all the images. So this is just images from what's it called again? From this article. Okay, it's fine. So go back to the article. Oh, there you go. I found it. All right, so it looks pretty. Pernis resident Brian Brayford has spoken about the frustration of the lack of communication. Well, I can see that being annoying, but look, you have a whole camera crew there. Like, you know, maybe they will be customer. As I said, to facilitate the filming, we have a full road closure in place on Beach Road, the Esplanade, and Bridgman Road. This will ensure the exterior. This will enable us to film the exterior of Pinner's Pier. In addition, the road closure, we would like to suspend bays and clear all cars along the seafront of the Esplanade. These parking bays will be used to park our technical vehicles to help facilitate the filming. I can see why they're pissed off, right? I can see why they're pissed off. Mr. Brayford said to me, that suggests they'll decide when I can get out in and out of my home. Yeah, I can see why he's pissed off. But this has something to do with the Sea Devils, obviously, right? Because the Sea Devils, they're in the war between the land and the sea. I bet that's what this is. I think. Look, I'll say this about the new era: it looked pretty good, right? Visually, it was good. I am frustrated that they closed the whole seafront to visitors by car. The vast majority of people who visit Pernis have to do so by car without consulting anyone who lives and works it. I can hear that. I am annoyed by the lack of communication, and we say we can't tell anyone. I say we can't tell anyone is a cheek. I couldn't believe that line. What? And to say we can't tell anyone is a cheek. I couldn't believe that line. Another trader said they were closed while filming went on. They said we had a lot of disruption here with various things, which the Vale Council has allowed to go ahead without consulting the businesses down here. And on this occasion, it has approved this one and not got in touch with us as a business. They're absolutely right. They are absolutely right. But again, this is going to look cool if nothing else, right? So he's annoyed. A lot of people are annoyed. The Vale of Glamorgan Council spokesman told the Mail Online the Vale of Glamorgan Council is working with the BBC on a high-profile production that will see Pernis showcase to a global audience. Okay, it really won't, but okay, whatever. We will look to capitalize the range of positive opportunities this brings, including attracting overseas tourists. He won't. It's hoped the activity will increase visitor numbers and boost local businesses. Yeah, well, you should been in contact with people, shouldn't you? I mean, all businesses on the pier and the Esplanade are contacted by a production company in early December to give advance notice. That's probably fair then. And potential filming and those affected. And it's freezing bloody cold. It's middle of winter. The BBC also held a positive in-person meetings with specific concerns. Okay, so people look. English like to complain, maybe. I don't know. Whilst the pier and pavilion will be closed during filming, along with certain roads, there will be a pedestrian access to Esplanade, and production company is working hard to keep the disruption to a minimum. The income generated by the production will be used to market the Vale of Glamorgan as a destination to maintain important services at a time when budgets are being squeezed like never before. Yeah, again, look, this was just like a bit of mismanagement, right? That's what it seems like to me. It seems like mismanagement. Fine. But that's a fun little story, right? That is a fun little story. I really want to do this bi-generation story. It sounds so stupid. Okay, because I'm wrapping up soon, but I'm going to look at... So I might get to this tomorrow. This looks too delicious to ignore, right? This is also an article I wanted to get to. Star Trek Erasing William Shatner. Yeah, that's something we should be talking about. What else we got? 3 episodes that almost ruined Matt Smith's era before it properly began. Hey, what 3 episodes? Smith says the 11th Doctor. Okay, fine. But what are the episodes? The Beast Below. Beast Below was a disappointment because the design was weak on that, right? And sadly, that's probably the weakest episode. Victory of the Daleks. People didn't like the new Daleks. And Flesh and Stone ended with no. Fuck off. It was fine. That was fine. That trailer was good, right? That trailer was good. What else we got here? Doctor Who's exciting comeback needs one more thing to make it even better. Looks like Torchwood. It's not happening, all right? It's not happening. There we go. A forgotten Fourth Doctor villain could explain the One Who Waits mystery in season 14. Sutek? That's an interest. Okay, I like that article. That one goes to the top. I like this one. I like this one, right? Let's see. That was number 3 seems right. And yeah, put that one. Keep the one at the bottom. Doctor Who will see. Oh, that was the one I wanted to get to last night. So that goes up here, right? That goes up here. That's what we want to get to. Doctor Sea Devil spin-off means you can fix another big Whittaker mistake. Whittaker was the mistake, right? But I do reckon that ties into this pier, right? Don't you? I so reckon it ties into that. If you thump. Fine. And what else did I want? Cosmic Book News. Oh, let's have a quick look at this. This is really, really disappointing. So Erin Moriarty, this incredibly beautiful woman, right? Incredibly beautiful, like very like natural looking. And then she's got this like weird plastic surgery done. Like, why? Fine. So again, very, very pretty girl, right? Very, very, very pretty. Scary looking slut. All right. Maybe it's not fair because she's not smart, but look, this is just look. There she looks like a skanky porn star, and there she looks like somebody I would like to talk to. Actually, I'd like to talk to skanky looking porn stars too. Let's be clear. But like, why? Why would she do that? It's so bizarre. Right, it is so bizarre. I don't understand. Right, I really don't understand why she would have plastic surgery done on what's essentially a perfect face. Right, it's crazy. Right, it's crazy. She hasn't come whether or not she went under the knife. However, before the and after images seems to reveal Erin Moriarty has had a nose job, fillers to her cheek. What for? Again, it's so sad. All right, it's genuinely sad. Previously, Sam, misogynistic troll. When the boys showrunner Michael responded to fans that they deem misogynistic trolls. What do they say? I've opened a vein for the role. The misogynistic trolling isn't exactly the role Annie would speak out against. Was it? I mean, like, I thought there was some real clever observations about how fake sexuality is in television productions. Was it second or third season where they had her like much more sexualized, right? And like with more makeup and more heels, and then she comes and like takes off all the extra stuff, right? And but again, it's so sad that she would have done that to herself, right? Ever since Stephen Ewan backed out of Century, they can't get anybody else to play him. Godzilla -1 getting a black and white release. Oh, I hope that's on the Blu-ray, right? I hope that's on the Blu-ray. I don't know. I think Star Wars. I believe those rumors, right? I still believe those rumors. David Ayer claims audiences have seen his Suicide Squad Club. Unanimously said it's one of the best comic book movies ever made. Well, I hope they release it, right, on Disney+. Constantine Ryder says the sequel was once shelved in favor of a Swamp Thing movie. Yeah, good luck with that. This idea of there being a Kelvin origin movie are just dumb, right? It's just dumb. So, I want to get to this. It said, Pressy said of his dead, he reveals he's been asked to dumb down recent projects. Yeah, we'll look at this. Sopranos creator says prestige television is dead. Well, the money for it's not. He's going to dumb down recent projects. That's a real shame. According to Soprano creator David Chase, thanks to the ever-growing fear among Hollywood that audience will be unable or unwilling to engage in a level of complexity in their storytelling, the era of prestige television, if not the entire idea of the medium as an actual art form, has officially come to an end. Who wrote this? Spencer Bacali, I should say. The story creator offered his take on the current television landscape during July 12th career retrospective given at a UK news outlet, The Times. You know, I've been watching Killers of the Moon, the new Scorsese thing on Apple Plus, and I was excited by it, right? Because it was, look, I like Scorsese a lot. Last film was The Irishman, and it was also 3.5 hours long, and I like that a lot. This is not the same experience in any way, shape, or form. I'm only halfway through it, so I'm only an hour or so into it, so I can't really give you a review of it yet. But it's just like, so far it seems very indulgent with very overlong scenes for no apparent reason. Met therein with the observation from host Jonathan Dean that the current year would mark the 25th anniversary of the seminal series. Oh, where'd it go? Of the seminal series. Rather than spawn with an overtly joyous sentiment, Chase lamented, yes, 25th anniversary, so of course it's a celebration. But perhaps we shouldn't look at it like that. Maybe we should look at it as a funeral. As to those whose services, services they would be attending, Chase explained that the deceased was none other than prestige television. Catch-all term for shows such as Breaking Bad, The Sopranos, and which present audience with more mature, intricate, and overarching stories than usually offered by the average network production. Yeah, that's really what destroyed Westworld. It's just way too complicated and too layered and deep for a casual watch. You have to watch it several times over, and it's so freaking clever, and it's worth it. That's the thing. But people don't make investment in TV like that. That was a blip. He admitted. He sadly admitted to Dean. A 25-year blip. To be clear, I'm not only talking about Sopranos, but they've had a lot of other hugely talented people out there. I feel increasingly bad for them. Yeah. Moving to provide context for his feelings, the creator recalled to his host that when he first made a play at becoming a television screenwriter, he did so with the intention of showing Hollywood just what the medium was capable of, right? And made them regret the decades of stupidity and greed, said Chase. I don't know. Maybe they make something good and it's successful. People will get it. I don't know. Back then, the networks were an artistic pit, a shithole. Yes, the process was repulsive. In meetings, these people would often ask to take out one thing, the one thing that made an episode worth doing. I should have quit. So to this end, Chase noted at this point in the career, in light of the absolute freedom and the ad-free airtime Sopranos was eventually afforded at HBO, he felt like he had the best job in Hollywood. Well, he did, and he produced one of the best things in Hollywood. Right, Sopranos is fantastic. I love The Sopranos. However, he laments the fact the industry is going back to where I was. They're going to have commercials noted referring to the recent introduction of both as the Netflix and Prime Video, and I've already been told to dumb it down. In support of his opinion, Chase told Dean that his current projects, a series described by the latter as being a high-end prostitute forced into witness protection by co-written by FX. A teacher miniseries, Hannah Fidel, has found itself stalling in development because the unspecified network partners are worried that the viewers will find the story too complicated to follow. Ken, this is what idiot executives think, and they are idiots. Who is this for? He then questioned. I guess the stockholders. Closing out his thoughts on the topic, Chase asserted, as the human race goes down, we are more into multitasking. Your phone is just one symptom. That's how I judge something, really. If I don't look at my phone, right, when I'm watching it, that means I like it. We seem to be confused, and audiences can't keep their minds on things. So we can't make anything that makes sense, takes their attention, and takes the audience's focus. As for streaming executives, they're getting worse, he added. We're going back to where we were. So it's a funeral, Chase concluded. Something is dying. Yeah, well, I don't know. Maybe that may be the case, right? That may well be the case. Who knows? I don't know. I just think the commercial viability of complex drama is still there. But then look at the BBC, right? They're incapable of doing complex drama where they used to be, they used to be their forte, right? Remember The Singing Detective? That was fantastic, right? I don't know. It's he has a point. Things are definitely dumber, right? Things are absolutely, definitely dumber. Fine, I think with that we're going to wrap it up. So tomorrow night, what do we have to look at? I do want to do an article about the TARDIS, right? One second. I've got several articles about the TARDIS. Because I keep looking and going, why is that so shit? Right? I don't get why it's so incredibly... I got to log in. Hang on. How? Log in. Doink. There you go. Share screen. And there's both SFX and Doctor Who magazine have articles about the TARDIS, right? And I continue from this page. It doesn't look. I wish I could just say it doesn't look good. These ramps don't look cool. It looks shit. Right? It looks like a hospital. I feel like it can smell disinfectant. Right? It doesn't look good. So we got that one over here. And there's also an interview with Shooty and Millie, right? Which I wouldn't mind talking about bi-generation. Not really. I'm really not interested. Oh, yeah. So here's the article over here. I don't like the TARDIS console. But I don't like the ramps, right? That's basically what it is. I don't like the ramps. It's just the way they hype this, right? The way they hyped it is freaking ridiculous. Is that a picture of the real set, or is that a mock-up? That's probably a mock-up. Yeah, the way they hype this has been ridiculous. I don't know. It's like everything else in this new era. Too expensive without enough point, right? It really is. It's just too expensive without enough point. Fine. So we'll get to that tomorrow, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for joining tonight. This was my makeup stream because last night, as I said, I could only do a quickie. We haven't even spoken about Georgia Tennant yet. That will be my headline article tomorrow. I apologize. Thank you for reminding me, Monka Rutkowski. That will be absolutely my. I think she's got to be on the thumbnail. I'll try and think of some salacious way to have a sexy Georgia Tennant, right? Maybe I can have her in an Israeli bikini or something like that. I don't know. I have to think about it, right? I have to think about it. Yeah, but that will be our headline article. Oh, man, I can't believe I didn't get that. Fine. So tomorrow, 5 o'clock UK time, we will talk about all the insanity that goes on in the world. I'm going to hit the end broadcast button, everybody. I'm going to hit it again.